Welcome to the fifth episode of Women of Startup Nation. Today we have a very special guest. She's our fourth guest on the podcast, and I'm gonna let Fiammetta introduce her.
Yes, so thank you so much to Shahar Ashkenazi to join us today. She's only 27-year-old, but she's already working for such an amazing place as the Weizmann Institute, where she's a deep learning algorithm developer. So we would like to know from you, what was your journey which brought you to such an amazing place like the Weizmann Institute?
Wow. Okay. So I was born here in Israel. Both my parents are professors in their academics, so I always had the orientation to that part. But when we were young, we moved to the U.S. for the postdoc, and we came back. But I always had like this orientation to engineering, mathematics, whatever. Cause I don't know if it's the schools in Israel here, but it came pretty easy to me, and I knew that I wanted to do that. I knew I wanted to do it in the world of medicine. So my first degree is in biomedical engineering. It was the clash between the two worlds of engineering and medicine. And now I'm working there. I'm following my master's in electrical engineering, and I work there. It's actually with connection to the war why I'm working there. In the first 2 months after,
we have a special guest today.
So the first 2 months of the war, I was very depressed. I couldn't get out of bed almost at all. A little bit to volunteer to help people that got evacuated from their homes or things like that, but not really. And I was still in the midst of my first degree, and I was like I couldn't do anything actually. And then I was starting to look for reserves to go to donate my time for the military. I didn't really find something valuable. So, and then I looked for a job. I found this job, and they were having a lack of personnel because of the war, and
because many people were in reserve duty.
Yeah,
and also many people left. Like all the people coming from around the world. Not all of them, but many left the country, rightfully so.
Exactly. So, and then happily, I passed the interviews, and now I'm working there for almost 2 years.
Amazing.
In which department?
In the Department of Mathematics and Computer Science.
Okay. So let me ask you, where were you on October 7th? I assume you're I think in the Nova Festival, the age range was huge. You see, there were like kids that were still in the army, and older people like us, and even older. But I think most of the people were your age, so I'm assuming you probably. I mean, I know people that were there. Assuming you probably had quite a few friends. Where were you?
So that's I think everybody knows where they were on the October 7th. And I was at home with my parents. That's a good thing. I was at home at 6:30. There was the first alarm. I was like, this is a false alarm. I don't know if I'm gonna even wake up to go to the bomb shelter. Like this, there's no way that has no context right now. And in 10 there was another alarm, and that's the first time that we got a message from one of our friends saying another friend was at a party where there were some terrorists, but he's okay. That's the message we got. In my head, there's like two kids with the M16 started going wild, which is not good, but like not proportional to what happened in the real world. And then at 12, the person that was at the festival, wrote, "I'm now good day to not be drinking. God loves me," things like that, and why he's taking it very, very seriously. And I don't think we actually understood it until the day after, like what happened. I know a lot of people that were at that party, each with a unique story.
Yeah.
And actually, like, know people I was born and raised in Omer, which is near Beersheba at the south. So I like with the scouts and things like that. We know people from the
kibbutzim.
From the kibbutzim, from the towns near Gaza. And the two men that were now released, Gali and Zivi, were with us in the same grade and things like that.
Yeah. And since then, many other things happened, including the war with Iran.
Yes.
which deeply impacted the
our work.
Weizmann Institute.
Yeah.
Would you like to share with us?
You were already working there.
I was working. Yeah, I was. Yeah, very working. Like I'm one of the oldest two people to be working there now. And so yeah, I remember that day. I woke up and somebody sent a very vague video of a burning building, and I'm looking at that building, and that's our building. Our building is on fire. It's caught fire, and one of the missiles hit specifically our building, which was one of the best buildings in Weizmann. And Weizmann is beautiful, but that one, and yeah, that day I remember like I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do now. Like what's going on? We didn't know anything. We had like an emergency meeting, and it's chaotic. Everybody's like I don't know. We don't know if we got hit. We didn't get hit. What survived? What didn't survive? So most of the material things did not survive. The work that we had saved in the cloud did.
How many labs were in the building? Think about.
It was a 3-floor building. It was a square building. Let's say about, I don't know, labs, 15, something like that. Yeah.
And what kind of research was being done there? Like I know it's life sciences and cancer research,
Saving life all around the world.
Yeah, I mean the Weizmann Institute is one of the leading centers for research around the world. So
Yeah.
I assume the research that's been done there, that's been done in the past and will be done and is being done, it's life changing for lives all over the world.
Yeah.
But if you can just give us maybe like a couple of examples of the research that has been impacted.
So the building is we're in mathematics, but the building is theoretical biology, not theoretical and practical biology,
Okay.
so experimental biology. And so most are experimental people that have experience in biology. Really next to us was the cancer lab, which I think her name is Dr. Karen. She had lots of tubes in the downstairs. Like it wasn't supposed to go on fire. In the downstairs, in a really small place. We barely got there. That's why there was lots of tubes with cancer and habitats that all were ruined completely. Years of things that were growing there. In the other side, we have Eran Sega, which is
it was the COVID.
Yeah, he was leading
he
was
COVID,
leading
right?
person in COVID, and he had a startup, and he's a very influential person, and he has all these experiments of all types of medical things that combine together. I think he does the fatty liver, and he has lots of tests that were some of them ruined. I think he's managed to salvage most of it. And in our place, what we were most dreading, we have a radar. It's the main. That's one of the best things we have. It's a radar that it's supposed to stand in a room and to measure blood pressure, things like that. Like it's a physical instrument that that the electricians were working on, and some of the things there were ruined, but that the main radar was managed to be saved.
Mm-hmm.
Gladly.
So that was like almost was that 5 months ago?
Yeah.
What's the status now? Because I know from my side that there's so many fundraising and people wanting to donate, because not only because they want to help Israel and they want to be involved, but just because they really believe
in science,
yeah. And the Weizmann Institute really changed. First of all, it has a lot of twin projects with research centers around the world. But so I know that there is an incredible effort to raise funds. But what's the status now?
So each lab was on its own practically in the day that happened. Each lab needed to on itself get on its legs and start looking for other different places. So the first few days were like everybody that can come and put a helmet on and save things from the building, and the building is still
fuming.
Yeah. And I'm like, okay, maybe that's not the safest thing to do, but we did. We came with these helmets and we came into the building and tried to save
Amazing.
everything you can save. Somebody saved my cup, like everything from the ashes. And so the first 3 days were like that, and looking for a new building. With a lot, my each lab found a different building. There's people that aren't in Weizmann Institute at this time, like the labs moved out of Weizmann because there's no place for them. And we found a building nearby that we could move all the stuff there, but it took a toll on the lab mentally. Like, people are not getting along right now. It was a really, really tough time for the lab. And we did get funds for mental health and things like that.
Well,
like,
it's important.
yeah, we did get that funds, and we're gonna do some nice days with that. And the most important part, I'm not sure. But
Okay.
but I know that the days after that we came back to Weizmann is like a green haven. Like, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've been there, but it's beautiful. The first few days, everything was glass on the floor. No matter where you looked, where you did, no glasses everywhere in Weizmann.
Yeah, because not only the building that was hit
There was the wave impact.
There was a wave impact. I don't know if this is like, but there was 2 missiles that hit Weizmann. Okay. One was this building. It was a functional building. That's why it's so important. The other one was a building that was being built. Yeah, it wasn't built yet. I don't think it was like published, this part, so I don't know. But there was 2, and every building in Weizmann got hit. There's still lots of buildings without walls, and everything was glass. Still, you go and you see glass all over, but that hits because Weizmann is so beautiful.
Yeah.
But this brings me to Jordana and I attended recently a meeting with the ex-Prime Minister Naftali Bennett, which says something amazing about how October 7 on one hand was the biggest failure in the history of Israel, but also because of that brought the best of Israel together to rebuild an entire nation. So in a way, what you're telling me, I think that the Weizmann Institute really represents the need of rebuilding the beauty of Israel. And the fact that somebody young like you, Bennett, was also quoting all these young kids that they were defending the kibbutz, and they saved so many lives. And he said, this is going to be one day the people running our government.
Yeah, which gives us a lot of hope.
A lot of hope.
Because in face of the failure of the state, which makes it not only on October 7th, in a way, I don't want to be overly critical, but like, even the fact that, like, you know, after the missile, you guys had to go and clean up. Like, it means that, you know, people had to take things into their hands and clean up. And yes, the help was going to come, but, you know, I think this generation, your generation,
absolutely
has been dealing with so much, but has proven also to be incredible, really incredible.
Yeah, people in your age, like when I was 27, I was living in Milano, getting drunk almost every night, even though I have a PhD.
What changed?
So really, to see people like you, women like you, because let's not forget that Israeli women are part of the army and they're defending our country and they're making our country the startup nation.
Yes.
Is very encouraging.
Yeah.
And so also to conclude this episode with a positive note, we would like to ask you if there is an Israeli woman that was inspiring for you during those years.
First of all, I have to say my mom. She's a very strong woman. She's an engineer by herself, and she is like me, in a really man's world, and she got through the ranks, and now she's a professor, and that's very proud. I do want to mention also my boss at my work, which is an interesting woman by herself. She is a Haredi woman, like she's married to a Haredi man. Yeah.
For who doesn't know, an
Orthodox, very Orthodox woman, and she is but she like bringing women to the front. I'm the only woman in my group, and she's very not proud of that. But like, she really takes women forward, and she just won the Israeli prize.
Oh wow!
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Can we have her in the
She's now in America.
when she's back?
When she's back.
You know, the Israel Prize is like one of the highest recognition that you get from the state once a year.
Yeah.
They get, it's like a big ceremony on Yom Ha'atzmaut, right?
Yes.
The day after Yom Ha'atzmaut, the day after Independence Day. It's one of the biggest prizes and recognition that you can get within the country. So that's amazing.
Yeah, she is a very, very strong woman, and it's really important to her to bring women to the front. And she is, so it's nice working for her, and she really let me go forward, and she gives me all, like I said, they're all men, and she gives me the space and the time, and we can see she emphasizes on me. So I really admire that too.
Amazing. I think before concluding, would you like to tell us what you wish for the future? Like, world peace, okay, but like seeing, you're very young, but you've accomplished a lot and you've lived through a lot.
Yeah.
Where do you see us going? What's your wish?
So as a start, let's go for that. I really do believe that I want to see Israel keep going on the progressiveness of the technology, and not only for the sake of my career, but I think that's the right way to go for the economics here, and hopefully for the democracy here.
I love it.
And all around the Middle East.
All around the Middle East. Yeah, I think Israel, we don't have natural resources so much. Well, now we have some gas. But we always say our resources are our people and
our mind.
Our minds.
Israel
and our
is a state of mind.
Right. Our curiosity.
Is a state of mind.
Which is amazing that we can bring that not only to the Middle East, but to the world. And thanks to people like you.
Thank
you. Thank you so much for being our guest.
Thank you.
And keep doing what you're doing. You're amazing.
Thank you.
We're looking women like you one day, not running only at the Weizmann Institute, but also our country.
The country. Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.